Get your bathing suit on, or your cool wetsuit, because surf's up, dude.
It's absolutely free, and you got the nice fresh air and the ocean underneath you. What better way to spend a day?
It's time to hang 10 and catch that sweet tube, because no matter how much you try, you can't deny, life is a beach.
Dude, I am so stoked, man. I've wanted to surf the West Coast for a long, long time, and here I am finally in Tofino. Yes, West Coast. Today it looks like they're breaking sort of chest to head high. They're going both ways, left and right. There's a bit of an onshore breeze, so they're closing out quick, but still, hopefully I can get some white water running in. Now, there is only one sort of technical difficulty today. I've never been on a surfboard in my life. But hey, how hard can it be, right? Okay, maybe I could use a lesson or two.
I just like how every day is different in surfing, you know. You'll never catch the same wave twice. You can paddle out as many times as you want, and you're always riding a different wave.
Let's go see if Mr. Perfect can teach me a thing or two about surfing.
Lie beside the board.
Sure.
Down on the ground. And then you're gonna be paddling for that wave. Okay, now pop to your feet like a push-up. Bam, there you go, you got it. Perfect.
Right, it didn't work like that out there.
Perfect.
There's gotta be more to it than that.
There is more, there's balance, there's timing. You're on the sand right now. Unfortunately, the ocean is moving, so.
Dude, my
yeah,
suit is like
you're
ruined.
sandy.
Oh, pick it up! Let us run like monkeys!
Surfing's a really tough sport to improve at, but generally if you take a lesson, you're probably going to be standing on the first day or first couple days. Basically, the fins are your steering mechanism on the surfboard. You want your back foot to be standing over the fins, so that will control where you go on the wave. If you put pressure on your heel, you'll turn one way. If you put pressure on your toe, you'll turn the other way. There's also concave in the board. Nice little dip in here to allow water to flow through the tail and out the back. See, that time you didn't get your foot straight.
I'm up! I was surfing! Surfing ain't an easy sport for beginners, which gives me that much more respect for the true beginners of the sport. And the sport began, about 4,356 kilometers due that-a-way. First written record of surfing was made in 1779 by the first European visitors who landed on the shores of the Hawaiian Islands. Surfing was deeply rooted in Hawaiian culture and legend.
The Hawaiians just used solid slabs of pine or koa, and they would simply take a slab of wood and round the nose out and square off the tail, and they were often oiled up with kukui nut oil to keep them semi-waterproof. And the big boards were for the kings, and the olo boards, and the shorter boards around the 12-foot were for the commoners.
Bob McTavish has seen firsthand the evolution of the surfboard. He was a pro surfer in the 60s and today is a key innovator in surfboard design.
I want to add 2 feet from the nose on the Fireball. I want to add a 1/4 inch. The Fireball is our most popular board, and I've been surfing them a bit lately, and I reckon I could just add a whisper 18 inches from the nose. I think it'll just pretty the line up a little, and I think it'll improve the nose ride. That's perfect. Okay, good, we'll run one of those.
Excellent.
The shaping machine now is cutting, and so out of a rough blank, it's knocking a clean little shape. Now, this is all pretty new. You know, we're sort of leading the charge. Well, yeah, I've been doing this for 45 years by hand, you know. So now we've got a machine to do it. It's rather pleasant, thank you.
Today's surfboards start with a polyurethane foam core to keep the boards lightweight.
Okay, so up to the machine, my son Ben is the hand finisher. Nice looking board, Ben. The most important ingredient in a surfboard is the rocker curve. The second most important ingredient is the template shape. And then the third most is how they combine on the edge here, so that they're soft here, nice and hard back here, a certain amount of tuck through there. And then the fourth most important thing would be the distribution of volume through the board this way. So we're always just refining and fine-tuning those things, especially when there's a week of good surf. Because when you get a week of good surf, it's research time, and the whole factory, everyone here's a surfer. So our product reflects a week of hot surf. Little details improve in our board. Okay, so after shaping, the boards go into the art department. So we have 3 or 4 artists, and they all do different styles of work, and it's up to their own imagination what they come up with. We don't hold them back.
Made the cigarette look really round.
Yeah.
It looks like a
Dick.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to the beach. The sand floor is to gather all the resin that falls from the job. So this is real glass. We call it fiberglass cloth, and we choose different combinations to achieve different weights and different strengths. So yeah, back in the old days we never used to wear gloves or masks, and I think our livers are pretty shot, you know. We don't know if any of our friends have died yet from it. We've been doing it a long time. So now he's got to work the resin down between the 2 layers and drive it down onto the foam. Santa comes in at 5 a.m. He's out here by 8 o'clock, and he goes fishing the rest of the day or surfing. So the whole purpose of it is to get a high shine, got a sparkle in the showroom.
But really, the board is only one part of the equation. What about the wave?
Man, look at my Charlie. He's the grooviest.
Surfboard is one of those things that has had major influences on culture and music, man, around the world, and on communities like Tofino.
Originally a fishing community, Tofino has also cashed in on its scenery. Until recently, it's been kayaking and whale watching tours that have been attracting tourists. But within the last decade, surfing has boomed, making Tofino Surf City, Canada.
Well, I came from England, where it's getting very crowded now. Surfing's a very popular sport there. You go out surfing and you're surfing with hundreds of other people. But I like searching out new destinations where, you know, you wear a 6mm wetsuit, but you're only surfing with 10, 15 other people. The way this coast is aligned is perfect for surfing. Lots of little coves, lots of points. So no matter where the wind or the swell is coming from, you can normally find a great combination where you've got good waves coming at you and good offshore winds.
If Paul just lost you with that last little bit, you'd better listen closely to the next part, because surf school is about to begin in earnest.
It's essential as a surfer to have an understanding of wave generation, where waves come from, how they break, in order for you to get the best conditions when you go out surfing.
Paul knows a thing or two about how waves are formed. He has a degree in surf science and oceanography. His minor was sand sketching.
So these are normally indicated on weather maps, kind of like this, big circular areas. You get a low or a high pressure system. Now we as surfers just interested in the low pressures because those are the ones with the high winds.
These low pressure fronts, aka storms, are the first ingredients in the making of a great wave. Essentially, waves are formed by a transfer of energy from the atmosphere to the ocean. Wind on the surface of the water will produce random variations in pressure that pulse downward. These pulses begin the formation of waves. Once the initial shapes are formed, the wind will continue to gather the waves and push them onward.
And as that wind blows further and further, what happens is these waves start to produce what we call groups or sets. And the bigger those waves stand up out of the water, the better the grip the wind is going to get on the back of these waves. And then the longer the wind blows and pushes from behind these waves, the bigger they're going to get. Now on a reef break, that water, that wave, that swell is coming out of deep water. It's dramatically hitting shallow water, so the bottom of that wave is going to slow down really quick and the top of the wave is still traveling fast, so it curls over, causes what we call a plunging wave. Okay, that's when you get the tubes. The more dramatic the change in water depth, the more dramatic the wave you're going to get.
Wind plays another key role in the quality of the wave. An onshore wind will cause the wave to crumble as it breaks. But the ideal wind is the offshore wind, which acts to push against the wave, forming a pocket that creates the desired tube formation.
And that's why surfing's so addictive. You're always searching for that perfect ride, because every wave you catch is going to be better or it's going to be worse than the one before. You're always searching for that perfect wave where you read the wave perfectly and do the right maneuvers to harness that energy.
One of the legends who harnessed that energy was a Hawaiian beach boy named Duke Kahanamaku. Duke was the ambassador of the board.
Sadly, his contributions did not extend to men's beachwear. I hate you, Duke. In this moment, I hate you a lot.
In 1915, he was invited to Australia to give a swimming exhibition in Sydney. Swimming wasn't the only thing he exhibited. Duke rode an 8-foot 6-inch board he made from Australian sugar pine at a Sydney beach before a stunned audience. And in so doing, single-handedly put Australia on the path to superpower status in the surfing world. Things have come a long way in surfboards since Duke carved his sugar pine board. In the 1930s, hollow plywood boards were all the rage.
They were called kook boxes. Now, it's pretty light because it's hollow, but man, this thing is long. Well, you'll get what I mean in a minute. This one is 16 foot long. What a beast, eh? After the Second World War, balsa boards appeared 9'6" with a plywood fin. Then, fiberglass surfboards. That's a 9'6", and I made this board in 1966, in one night actually. The next revolution was in '67, the beginning of the shortboard revolution. And this was commonly called the plastic machine, about 7'6" long, 22 inches wide. It had a very deep V bottom, which you can see, which made this very big wide tail actually quite bankable and quite manoeuvrable. And these were the first boards that started to use the vertical aspects of waves, start to turn hard and vertical. Previous surfboards had all their turning in the back end. You'd turn these from right on the tail over the fin, you'd swing them around, and you'd walk forward to get trim speed up, walk back again to do your cutback, your turn. And this was the birth of modern surfing, where you didn't walk on the board, you just turned it and went vertical and swooped around. So by 1970, this was the standard board, around 6'4", 21 inches wide, a nice little glass single fin. The surfing was based around long drops, fast bottom turns, crank off the top, drop again, hard bottom turn, crank off the top. The next revolution was in '71, the first twin fins were made, and this style with a wing swallowtail with twin fins mounted on the tail is a very loose design and very powerful. As you go through the bottom turns, the outside fin lifts out of the water So you're basically surfing on the one little inside fin on your rail. So you get a lot of drive through this side. When you cut back, the thing's reversed, and you're just driving on the other fin and the other rail. And although it came in 78 with a vengeance, it was overtaken in 81 by the thruster. Like the twin fin, a lot of effort through your toes and heels into the outside fin, but a third stabilising fin in the tail gave these boards a lot of comfort. So they were immediately successful from 1981 onwards. And quite frankly, there hasn't been a lot of change in the last 24 years. The interesting thing that's happened now has been a resurgence in retro boards. A lot of guys are going back to these old designs and finding out what they missed out on. All the younger generations going, well, what did a twin fin go like? And of course, longboards have come back into their own too in the last 10 years.
This is a 10.0. It's a classic nose rider. It takes it back to where everything got started. Where you're going to get to the forward maneuvers, such as hang 5 or hang 10, comes with putting the tail of the board in a positioning on the wave. But it's a constant shift of your weight. It's more drawn out lines, smoother lines, and just seems slower. It's not really so much slower, but you have time to think.
Surfboards have come a long way since the Hawaiians got things going. But what else has come a long way is what people can do with them. I mean, not me, but some people.
Okay, so just on 7 minutes to go, the situation still remains. Scott Geary is in fourth place, there's a 3.67. St. Bird is in third, there's a 2.75. Please Ben Goldwood in blue, the Aussie, in second place.
Surfing competitions are, they're a little bit like ice skating in that they're subjective judging, and there's a certain criteria that they apply to every wave that you catch. So no matter if it's a really bad wave or a really good wave, they look at the amount of turns that you do, how good a turn that is, and then at the end of the heat they look at all your scores and they take your top 2 waves and they add those together, and whoever has the highest heat total comes, you know, first, second, third. They look at skating and they look at what they're doing in half pipes and snowboarders and things like that and try and copy it here in the surf. I think what originally attracted me to surfing was just how free it is, and when you're having arguments with your friends or your parents, you can always just come for a surf and just kind of forget what you've been doing, and it's really good like that. It's always cleared my head and it's always been my escape from reality, I guess. I can just pretend to be a human for a bit.
When I think of surfing, I think of names like Malibu, Waikiki, places like the Great Barrier Reef. But for your next surfing getaway, why not consider sunny, tropical Montreal? Okay, maybe Montreal doesn't immediately leap to mind as a surfing mecca, but it is known for a different kind of surfing, standing wave surfing.
A standing wave is essentially a wave in a river where the water is moving over a rock and it lands in dead water and jacks itself up, and you get this wave that is self-perpetuating. It never moves. It'll be there all day, all year. It's pretty neat. I used to be an Olympic kayaker, and I came to Quebec for a competition, and I came down here and I saw this thing and I instantly fell in love. I took one ride on the wave and I was like, wow, this is incredible. And then I went downtown Montreal and I took one look at the women who are in Montreal and I went, wow, I'm moving here. One of the cool things about river surfing is the actual wave time that we get. In an ocean, you swim onto the wave, you've got 50 other people fighting for the wave with you. When you finally get up, the wave lasts 15, 20 seconds, and then you're done. Out here in the river, everybody gets their own turn. When your number's up, you get to go get on the wave, and your ride lasts as long as your legs can take it. So you could stand up for anything from a minute to an hour, depending on your abilities. That's a lot of practice. That's a lot of time on your board, understanding the board, understanding the wave. And so people who learn to surf in the river get much better, much faster than people who learn in the ocean. Every morning I wake up, my wave is here. Every night when I go to bed, my wave is still there. I can surf it all day and all night if I want. It's hard to beat. It really is. Well, now we're going to go out to the Lachines, which the rapids are much bigger, a little bit more dangerous. Behind the wave, it's pretty bad. The whirlpools and eddies, you can get pulled down. And then also you can't catch a swimmer. You actually have to get towed onto it. Tow-in surfing is really the new wave in surfing. It's something which is making surfing just more fun in more ways. And that's cool. I think it's really cool. I love everything about surfing. I love the freedom that I have on the board. I love the relationship that I have with the water. I love the fact that it's difficult. It's not an easy sport to learn. I live, breathe, sleep surfing. It's what I want to do all the time. It's like a disease. People think that if you don't live at the ocean and you're a surfer, that you're not much of a surfer. It's as fun as ocean surfing. It's its own sport. It's its own thing. And I easily have as much fun out here as I ever have in the ocean. I can't believe you can have this much fun with your clothes on.
Fortunately, I have an ocean at my disposal. There is something beautiful about playing in the waves and about being propelled by a force that's greater than yourself, about being truly in the moment. Because when you're on a surfboard, there is no yesterday, there's no tomorrow, there's only now. So here's me, living in the moment.